This is Matt Duffield from mattduffieldtrading.com, and tonight we're going to look at the two hot penny stocks of the day, AVEO and OHRP. Before we get started, I want to remind you this video is for informational and educational purposes only. I'm not a registered investment advisor, and neither is mattduffieldtrading.com. Penny stock trading can be very risky. You can lose a lot of money, and I urge you to make your own decisions. For starters, we're going to look at AVEO. This is a 5-minute chart. So what happened today, this was a big pre-market play for traders. This had a big gap up today. Let's see. So it gapped up from $1.17 and opened around $2.50. They did have good news. They're basically going to be receiving money for one of their, I think it's one of their trials. You know, I don't even pay too much attention to the news. I just evaluate, is it good news, bad news, back to the charts. Anyway, so right off the bat, I've played AVEO in the past a couple months ago. So let's look at the daily chart and let's go back 5 months. Okay, so back here in this range, back in May, early June, this had some big spikes on news announcements. So when I went to look at this chart, you know, I knew the stock was going to open at 250, and going back, I saw a little bit of resistance here. Let's go back 12 months. Keep going. You got to check further out. On the weekly chart, that's where I saw some major resistance about 2 years back. So right in here, nice solid wall of resistance at 250. So it had that going against it. And then also, you know, going back a couple months, I knew that AVEO tends to spike and then fade. You know, basically, I'm sorry, it'll gap and then just fade, you know, the gap for the rest of the session after gapping. That has happened here. And then 2 days later, it's these dark color or dark green solid candlesticks. So those two things right there kept me away from trading this today because I knew it would probably gap and then, you know, crap, as traders say. And that's exactly what happened. It opened, had a very brief push higher, and then it just sold off. And right in this range, around 214, I posted a tweet, you know, saying this has a history of gapping and fading. Be careful on your buys. And sure enough, you know, when I posted that at 214, I mean, this thing just stair-stepped lower all day, down to $1.80, and then went on to close at $1.69. And that's the trend with these. You know, a lot of these penny stock runners are just running, or I'm sorry, they're gapping and running in the first 30 minutes to an hour, or you know, they're gapping and that's it. They sell off for the rest of the session. That has definitely been a trend in the short term lately. So I'm always watching out for that. So on the daily chart, you have a nasty black candlestick. It shows better on other charts, but this is just, it's not good. The only good news for this is it closed at $1.70, which is at a support level, as you can see, you know, going back about a month or so. I'm not really seeing this bouncing too much. Maybe a dead cat bounce. I'll definitely keep on watching it, like I have been with other picks like Ford and PBMD that I've done videos on. Those gap for one day, and then they've pretty much been dead. Ford did make a rebound on Friday, but again, it sold off today. So a lot of these penny stocks are just one-day wonders, and then, you know, it's on to the next one. So also, OHRP was a big runner today. Let's take a look at that. Go to the intraday 5-minute chart. See, this one is a little different. Actually, I'm going to show you a 2-day. Had a decent gap from about the 240 level to 280, so, you know, about a 15% gap. Some consolidation down here, and then another spike above this opening high, which is important. You could trade that. You could buy right in here above this high, which is 290, and then, trade accordingly. So you could have had, 7% gain if you would have sold up here. Not too bad. The thing about OHRP, this was a former runner as well. If you go back a couple months, I was trading it right in here, July 13th range. So I remember the $3 level right in here was, a former support level. Now it's resistance. So when I saw this today, I actually didn't see it till it was right up here on 290. I'm sorry, 298. I didn't bother buying in because I knew it probably wouldn't be able to take out resistance here. And sure enough, it sold off pretty hard. Now the good news is it was pretty much range bound all afternoon, and then closed at 274, which is good because it held the morning support. That's something AVEO didn't do. So this could be bullish. This actually could see more upside. One thing I'm concerned about is the daily chart. Similarly to AVEO, it's got a black candlestick, and this is kind of like gosh, I can't even think of the name. Not a gravestone doji. Inverted hammer. So that's it's bearish. But if you go back 7 months, you don't have to go that far. Look at this support here. All throughout here. This is April through June. So 2 months of a support at, between 265, 277. So this could be a very low risk play. If you're trying to play a more upside or even just a small bounce, could be a good entry point. So I will be watching this one in the morning to see, if volume comes in, if most importantly, if this support can hold, if it can hold 271. But I'd like to buy on momentum. So I won't be dip buying in the morning, but I'll be watching for, another move like what we have here. That's the kind of spike you want to buy into, not this choppy mess. And you don't want to buy in trying to time a dip and then, the whole thing fades and you end up filling the gap down to 240. So for me, I want to see a bounce. So those were the big runners of the day. I guess good luck to you guys.